Hello everyone, we're on chapter 9 and we're on paragraph 24. Among the levels of character-logical disposition, we have singled out as the highest the one that works as pure thinking or practical reason. Among the motives, we have just singled out conceptual intuition as the highest. On closer inspection, it will at once be seen that at this level of morality, driving force and motive coincide. That is, neither a predetermined character-logical disposition nor the external authority of an accepted moral principle influences our conduct. The action is therefore neither a stereotyped one, which merely follows certain rules, nor is it one which we automatically perform in response to an external impulse, but it is an action determined purely and simply by its own ideal content. And 24 summarized as follows. To summarize, the highest level of character-logical disposition is pure thinking. The highest motive is conceptual intuition. This is an action that is determined purely by its own ideal content. We talked about the character-logical disposition back in the beginning of the chapter, and the highest level is that of pure thinking, which we talked about in paragraph 14. And so what Steiner is pointing out as well, that as a summary, those two are the highest levels, pure thinking and conceptual intuition. Because of that, our character-logical disposition and the external and an external authority are not determining us. We're sort of transcending these things, and so an action is basically a free action because it's not just based on our character. When we're able to get to the level of pure thinking, we're not just bound by our character. And when we use conceptual intuition as a motive, we're not bound by authority, whether that authority is coming from within, known as our conscience, or an external authority such as the church or school or work or whatnot. So as you can see, that already is sort of showing that it is a free deed when you're not bound by your own character or by an authority. And so you're carrying out an action that you think is right for that particular situation. And you're just simply doing an action purely by its own ideal content. So that's what he's talking about in paragraph 24, and he's just basically summarizing the stuff that we were talking about earlier on in the paragraphs and just kind of bringing them all together. So we're going to move on to 25. Such an action presupposes the capacity for moral intuitions. Whoever lacks the capacity to experience for himself the particular moral principle for each single situation will never truly achieve individual willing. And 25 is summarized as follows. Truly individual willing is based on one's capacity for moral intuitions. That is, they can experience the particular moral principle for each single situation. Again, as he points out, this whole idea presupposes the capacity for moral intuitions. So if you're acting out of your conceptual intuitions, it's obviously based upon having the capacity for it. And he's mentioned earlier, not everyone has the same capacity for moral intuitions, but again, it all depends on your capacity as well. And if you're lacking this capacity, you're never really going to be able to truly be an individual and be able to will individually. Your will be determined by other things. And so true individual willing is based on the capacity for following your moral intuitions. So that's what that paragraph is summarizing. And we're just going to finish up with 26. Kant's principle of morality, act so that the basis of your action may be valid for all men, is the exact opposite of ours. His principle means death to all individual impulses of action. For me, the standard can never be the way all men would act, but rather what for me is to be done in each individual case. And 26 is summarized as follows. Kant's principle of morality, of acting so that your actions may be valid for all men, is the opposite of this, as it means the end of all individual impulses of action. So basically, he just talks about Kant's moral principle ideas, which he basically argues, to act for all men, not to think of yourself, and that is stifling to one's will, and so it's actually not supportive of freedom. Again, if you're following Steiner's theory, it's supporting of freedom when you're acting out of your own moral intuitions, and your will is free, but your will is not free if you are being told to do do actions so that it's good for everyone. That is not freedom. So that's basically all he's talking about in this paragraph. So that's all we're going to cover for today. So have a good day. Bye.